Oh, hello everybody. We get this all figured out. There we go. Yep. Welcome to Barrel's Garage. Saturday Night Live on a Sunday. Yeah. Let's see. Let's pin that to the top there. Get everything set up here. There we go. Yeah, just your normal everyday Saturday live done on a Sunday. Why is that? Because I was swamped all week on that Mercury. Hey, up. Unfinished, man. Great seeing you. And totally cool that you made it in. I don't know what you look like, but I'm going to be looking for you at the no names. John, good to see you, man. Envious Creations, great seeing you. Landon, always good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in forever. Did you get that Hemmed on back? Andy over at Unity, great seeing you, man. Boy, that Ford kicked my butt all week long, but I finally got it. Eye of the Spider, Bryce, boom, baby. Great seeing you and your little helper. I hope that Frankie is coming along great. I haven't had a chance to watch one of your videos in a little while, but after this is done, I'm going to scroll over and check out, see how Frankie's coming. Rich, always good to see you, man. ASO, Auto Salvage Outlaws. So it's your standard run of the mill open mic night. You guys all want to pop in? Like I said, I got the link posted up there. Otherwise, you can watch me just sit here and babble a whole bunch. So, anybody got any questions or anything? Oh, did it work? This is the first time we tried that live swap thing with an instant live instead of a scheduled one. Looks like it worked. All the criminals, yeah, the hot rodders. Hey, Ed, great video series you got on all of that. That balancing stuff, yeah. That the way you went in depth on that, that is golden stuff, man. A lot of people don't understand what all goes into balancing a motor, and boy, that I went back and rewatched it twice. My back is sore. Everything is sore. I'll tell you what, Andy. That if nobody's ever done an FE intake, yeah, it's an exercise in frustration and fertility. I tell you what. Hey, John, how's it going?
It's going.
Whew, 12, 12. Can you believe it?
Yep. 11 days, 55 minutes.
Yeah, come tomorrow. It's 7 for me because I'm breaking town next Monday.
You got a long drive.
Whew, I tell you. We're just taking it leisure the whole way, too. We're not pushing hard.
It's a better way to go.
That, and I know who was working on the car, so I better not push her too hard.
Andy, that's right. The clock and the calendar wait for no one.
NSB, I got a special spot for your sticker since I won't be able to be taking the Fairlane. I got a special spot reserved for you on that Mercury. The video's coming soon on it. So, John, any news?
Nothing fit to print.
I probably couldn't spell it anyway. Oh, we got Lars in the house. B&R Racing came in. Old man in the shop. Boy, he has got some great material. I didn't check. Where's Stephen Holtz at in the sub
He just
counts? Do you
crossed. He
know?
just got 500.
He got it.
He got it
Sweet.
this morning.
Sweet. So now it's down. Let's see. The next one closest to him was
Cement Surfer.
Yeah.
Cement Surfer. B&R is about $3.99.
Just about to
Dizzy
400.
Izzy was at $3.61 this morning. And then when we get back from Dizzy Izzy, we're back to about 305 subs. So if I look at, I mean, it's updated since I did it last, but yeah.
I think the next slow burning fuse is going to be LB Bruins. He's going to do that one that's just going to explode him and launch him.
You know, it's the titles. It's the titles. Yeah. You can't, I mean, and speaking of titles, Mopar's Mustangs Minivans puts up a short about an office flooding out, and it says something about a day at work. The machine doesn't know what to do with that. Puts up a short about an engine, says don't drop it. Put what kind of engine it is, what kind of car is it. That's the stuff that gets your content out to the people who want to see it. That's what gets it there. You got to title the stuff right. I mean, you can get lucky, but by and large, titling the stuff right's a big deal.
Huge.
That's and probably half of your subs is titling stuff right.
And the description, and how do you use the difference between a hashtag and a regular tag?
Oh gosh, it's huge. That little stuff matters, and when people don't pay attention to it, it hurts their channel. LB'd have 500 right now with all those videos tagged. And I'm not picking on LB, but when you're doing a billet aluminum spacer for a 4150 Holly, for a 408 Mopar Stroker, for a 68 Barracuda drag car, for a collaboration with Just Mopar Joe, 5 things, and the title is like Special Report Number 12, YouTube doesn't know what to do with that.
We know what it is because we're sub to you and we've been watching it as the progression and everything, but the algorithm, it's confused.
Mopar's Mustangs and Minivans, that was a good short, and I bet you it would have had way more views. Because when I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it doesn't even have what the track is or any of that. You got all that room in the title to put that stuff. I mean, Jay did a short that got, I think it's at 2 million views. Had all those little things in there. When I go back and look at my videos that done really well over time, it was all how they were titled.
Yeah. And the whole thing, fill out your descriptions.
Now, Mopar's Mustangs, it blew up. Well, Jay's did 2 million, yeah.
I mean, that smokes me. My hottest one is, I think, 700,000.
And that's huge, yeah. But you give yourself a much greater chance of success with those titles.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the difference sometimes in the slow burning fuse and the fast burning fuse.
And if any of you are struggling on it, go to Roadkill right here. Mm-hmm. Go to his channel, open it up, and go back and watch the lives that he was putting out. And he'll explain it to you, how to, the keywords to work into your titles and everything. I mean, Buzz is the man. He's there to help us, and he will.
Old man in the shop built not bought said the spacer videos were good. Oh yeah, absolutely. The spacer
Yeah.
videos were really interesting. It's just they're not seen by that many people because the machine doesn't get it to them.
And when you're doing that, you have to think about it like you're talking to a machine, not a person.
Oh yeah. Yep. You do your video when you're in front of the camera, you talk to the camera like you're talking to your best viewers. They're your most familiar, easiest going, friendliest viewers that make you feel the best watching your stuff. But when you title it like you got to find some guy on the other side of Uruguay that you want to find that video. You title it for strangers.
Yeah. I read someplace that people that write like instructional manuals and stuff like that, you have to write it in third grade English,
Yeah, oh
so
yeah.
everybody can understand it.
Well, most people that's probably about the level of proficiency that the average American has. Truly, that's probably what it is. I know 2 technical writers who do that for a living. And it's what they do every day. And the irony is that both of them are very proficient, very well spoken and written. Master's degrees. But then they have to. That's how they have to write their manuals. They have to write their manuals so the masses will best understand them.
That it is, Lars, totally. This community has just cemented all of YouTube right into one.
Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans. Number one, you got to make more content. Go out and film, stuff, then cut up what you film into about 10 or 20 shorts. And you got to do it every day. Like I think today, I'm like, man, I can't believe most of Sunday is gone and not a single short went up from that channel. Channel that needs, 400 and some subs. That's what you got to do.
And if you're struggling for time, use the schedule. When you upload them, you can schedule them to come out. You can do 100 shorts at a car show. That's a good example.
But at 11 days to go, though, it's not the schedule. 11 to go. Right now, put it out.
And just start shoving.
Put it out. Just make it. But you can go to a car show, and I didn't do this for a number of reasons, but I went to a car show. There were 10 cars there, the whole show. I put it on my community page. You got one on one shot. You can go down through there and just, make a few mentions about one car, go down to the next, make a few mentions about it, go to the next, and then there you go, 10 shorts.
Yeah.
And pop them up. And because they're different cars, they'll get in front of different audiences. And you can go to a car show and come out of there with 100 shorts. Cars will get in front of different.
Here's a guy right here that is mastering it.
I don't know about mastering, but but they say master of none or something. Jack of all trades, master of none. Hello, John. Hello, Bear.
Howdy.
Heck, that's why my email address is Rusty Jacks.
At least the sign's right now. I was doing that live with on YouTube's, and on the screen the letters were backwards. It was flipped. It was messing me up. What'd I miss? Anything?
It's hard to title and describe a video that you think is general knowledge. Yes. And videoing stuff that we take for granted is, people will watch the strangest stuff.
Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans, we are all still learning.
Yes.
We should be. At least we should be.
I had a boss say that one time.
Every day.
You learn something new every day and you'll still die dumb.
Yep.
Yep. The older you get and the more you learn, the more you realize how many libraries could be written with all the stuff you still don't know.
The best thing I ever learned was when I learned that I don't know anything.
I know nothing. Yeah. You know, and then the old man in the shop has a point there. Another thing that I think about also is making a video about general knowledge. You know, I don't like I made that little video of this holding a nut in a socket with a piece of tape. That's just like general knowledge for me. I mean, and then I thought I needed a short that day, so I just picked that. You know, and a lot of people really liked it. Some people didn't, and they had different views about it. But same way with that test light when I put the vice grip on there.
That was a good one. I like
Yeah.
that.
And that one didn't go crazy, but I'll tell you what, it works well, man. It just hangs on there, you know. Because I always hated that part about a test light is that little freaking alligator clip. You put a vice grip in there, it ain't going nowhere.
Especially when you're under a dash, you know, and you got the ground hooked onto the one ground that works under a plastic dash, and you're probing and probing, and nothing is working, and you look over and the sucker is falling off.
I just did that the other day at work. I'm like, man, there was 24 volts here just a little while ago. Oh, it fell off. Yeah. I thought I was doing something wrong.
But yeah, those little things that we take for granted that everybody's got to know this. No, those are the ones that are going to pop and go. And if you title it right.
When I was at Virginia Tech, I remember GM brought in several of their new cars, and this was 1996. Okay, this is like more than 25 years ago. They brought a Suburban, a Corvette, something like, I don't know, a Malibu or something, whatever. And one of the students walked up to him and said, "Is this a standard cylinder type engine?" An engineering student who they were there to recruit and asked, "Is this a standard cylinder type engine?" That's the epitome of, you would think that we would be past that. But no, not really. This guy didn't know if he was looking at a nuclear reactor or wood fired or what. He had no idea. And that guy right now is probably working for GM. That's the kind of people who build your cars and why cars today are terrible. Because that's the kind of people they recruit. The days of Zora Duntov are gone.
Yeah, that's the going joke at work. If you do something wrong, they promote you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, any place that hires on other people's money will do that.
Well, you know the old saying, too, you know, you can take out the trash every day and nobody will know your name. But you burn down the barn one time.
Dallas's version of that's a little bit different, but I will not tell it here. It doesn't involve the barn, but it does involve the goat that lives in it. How's that?
Yeah, I had to tame it down a little bit.
Promote you to customer. That's not bad, actually. For real.
And I've said a bunch of times on other people's like comments and stuff like that in lives and stuff, to mix up your shorts with a long form. When I'm talking about long form, I'm not talking about a 20-minute video or even a 5-minute video. Just by long form, I mean filmed this way, you know, horizontal, and as much time as you can give into it, even 2 minutes is fine. Just throw one of them out with it, because it's easy for me to share that on my community page. A short, that's hard for me to share on my communities page. So I can help you get it out there, but it's got to be, like I said, a long form. but by long, I don't mean a long video. I just mean long form.
My guess is, and of course we know we're not allowed to know the YouTube algorithm. That's top secret. But my guess is it probably helps you in your analytics too with the algorithm. That would be my guess. Probably gives your channel, it moves it up slightly because they can see a machine is not just spitting that stuff out.
Yeah. And if you stay consistent with it, then YouTube will shove it out there more. I have definitely found that one out the hard way.
Well, who was it? Was it Cousin Cletus that said, if you're going to do shorts, make sure you have a library of other videos that they can go and watch too?
Yeah, because YouTube is pulling when somebody watches your short and then they go to the regular, you hit the little button up there that says YouTube and it goes to the regular YouTube homepage. One of your videos that you just watched on the short will pop up in the suggestions there.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I was just
they
talking
don't get
to
the
Jeff.
direct.
Hey, there's Zero G. Holy Zero G. But I was just talking to Jeff from 162 Customize, and I was trying to tell him how, YouTube's not searching for viewers for your video. They're searching for videos for the viewers that they have.
Yeah.
So if they have viewers looking for automotive content, or say like he was talking about a Barracuda race car, they're the videos that are going to get thrown out there.
You got
not the special report ones, unless they're looking for videos with special report on. Then they'll
if they're looking for cover sheets for their TPS reports, like that movie Office Space, then maybe they'll find it. But if they're looking for a carburetor space or for just Mopar Joe's race car, they're not going to find it.
No.
Or even just Mopar in there.
Gosh. But that's why I get all the other channels and videos in my feed, because I look for automotive stuff. So they throw automotive stuff at me all over the place.
Kind of think about it like you're looking up a part and you can't think of the name of the part, the real name for it, like a panhard bar. Around here, a common name for that is a Tanner bar. You type in Tanner bar, nothing comes up on Google. But if you type in panhard bar, then you get what you want. So you got to kind of think your title's kind of like that.
Several years ago, I saw this video. A guy had a Repo Productions is his channel, Repo Productions. And he didn't have that many subs, and he puts out a video, and the title was something like, off-site compliance something. It was some real jargon. The title meant nothing, right? But I could see in the thumbnail that he had a picture off the back of his record with the stinger, and his title is in his channel name is Repo Productions. I said, okay, maybe this 10-minute video is about a repossession. The video had 476 views. And it'd been up for 3 months, right? Okay, that's for 3 months. That's not much. I watched it. Man, that video was awesome. This dude went into the roughest hood near Little Rock, Arkansas, and tried to repo a car. And the son came out and jumped on the car, and the father and a posse came up and blocked the record and pulled a gun on him. And he drops the car, and they took off and fled. And then he drives to a convenience store, and the cops pull in to question the guy that pulled the gun. All that in there, and the title didn't have any of this. I mean, and I put a note in his comments. I said, "Hey, man, you should change the title of this." I said, if you would change the title of this to "White Trash Pulls Gun on Repo," it would have 476,000 views instead of 476. So he does it. And now it's got, over 500,000 views, of course. But that was all the difference in the world. Nobody knew about it because the title was terrible. That title makes all the difference in the world. The thumbnail will help click, but not if the title doesn't get them there Doesn't get them the content to click.
The title, that first 100 characters that you can put up there, that's the very first thing that the algorithm looks at. Then it goes to the description, and then it goes, down to your channel, to the about section in your channel, all of that stuff. It's all in a tier on how it'll pick it up. But the title, that's the first one.
Here's another one. Don't randomly make up your hashtags when there's a specific tag you want. Close. Yes. It's like an email address. Close enough does not get it there. So, for example, hashtag no name nationals, hashtag no name national with no S on the end doesn't work. Hashtag NNN is something else altogether. Doesn't work. You can't put, you can't just make it you're close enough. It doesn't work. It's not like you're writing it on paper. It's not like a sign. The other thing is spelling. Spelling in your titles matters.
Yes.
I mean, we as humans, we will read. Like if that banner behind Buck was misspelled, I would know what it meant, but the computer doesn't. So if you're not a good speller, sorry, get out the dictionary, the autocorrect, have somebody check it. But that spelling matters to the machine. Just saying that because it's crunch time, and when I see content that I know, I'll tell you, I'm not picking on anybody. I'll go around the room. John Cope puts up a video. He goes and delivers a transmission to a guy whose shop has a General Lee replica in it, and in the title, nowhere was General Lee.
That is like the ultimate.
I'm like, man, you.
Yeah, you'd even get all the haters too.
He had no. I need to see how many views that has now. I told him it would make a difference. But see, we don't know exactly because he's already put it out, then changed the title. We'll never know what it would have done to be released with that title.
And then in your title, let's say you put General Lee. You type it all out, General Lee. Then on the tag section, not hashtags, the tag section, then you put in there GEN Lee. And then G Lee or any variation that people might misspell it or anything like that, that goes in your tag section.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can do misspellings and stuff like that. I remember one time a guy that specialized in search engine optimization told us a lot about that. Get common misspellings and stuff in your tags.
How to get your video back on top? It's kind of a tough one.
I think you would have to delete it.
I have done that, but I'll pick a video that has no views or like 15 from way back that I feel like, well, I've gone through them all and gleaned them all out now. But I'll take a video that, say it only got 10 views last year, and then I'll re-edit it and I'll add YouTube only music to it and just kind of tweak it a little bit, put a good title on it, delete the old one, and then I'll put it back out. But don't do that to a video that's got views. If it's got some views, don't let it ride. Just change the title.
Right. So would you like download it onto your computer, then do all the changes, upload it, and then
re-upload it? Yep.
Okay.
So it's actually the same video. I just changed it. I'll add in a couple of still frames or something like that.
Because I thought about doing that to a couple older ones that didn't do anything. I was gonna, because back then I didn't know how to title in. This was before the content creator workshops, and Buzz came in, and John and Blake and you and all them guys telling me how to do things. I didn't title anything. I didn't capitalize anything. I just put stuff out there, and it didn't do well at all. And
you guys in the chat,
grab one of them and try it.
These guys are some of the best examples of what happens when you do all that little stuff that people take for granted. I mean, Barrow's Garage and Buck Does It are two of the best, probably the two best examples of the entire No Name 500. Are these two right here for what happens, what you can do when you do little things.
Yeah,
And I didn't know nothing. When I first started, I didn't know nothing.
These two channels, they're bigger than mine now. The both of them passed me.
Yeah.
And both did it in all just this year. That's the power of doing the little things right. Huge.
I mean, I had one long form. I hate bringing this video up because it's my most embarrassing one, but it has the greatest. It's 45 minutes long, and it has like a 30-minute retention rate on it. It's crazy. I don't know why. I'm walking around talking about Y blocks and the differences in Y blocks and the direction I might have went with all of that. But wouldn't have been for that one video, I wouldn't even have had 42 subs when John over here announced the No Name Nationals. But I had a bunch of videos out, and I had 0 subs off of them.
I wonder what number sub I was of yours, Barrows, because I subscribed to you before you had the 42. I was subscribed to you probably 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to be one of the first 10.
Oh, are your subs? I haven't looked for a long time. Do you keep your subs private?
I don't think so. I think you can. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think you can see if I'm not sure though, because YouTube is not exactly right. There are channels that I know for a fact are subscribed to me, and it doesn't show. And it's because we're not sure. Well, I'll give an example. Like I just saw Andy, and I know for a fact Andy subscribed to me. And one day YouTube took him out of my list of channels that I can see subscribed to me. And I know he is for sure. He says, yeah, I get my notifications and everything, but it doesn't show. And YouTube is not, I don't think it's entirely reliable.
And I know there's a time limit on it too. So all of the ones that,
No, what it shows you in your studio page is the first 90 days by default. You go to more, it'll show you most recent, but you can click up to lifetime and see.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
But it won't show you all of them. Like if I go in my studio right now, I can just go down the list, and I know for a fact there's a lot of people who are subscribed don't show. And it's something. It might not even just be their settings. It may be something with YouTube itself. Yeah, it's always weird things like how it'll unsubscribe somebody and they don't realize it.
Yeah.
Well, this is another glitchy thing that it might do that and they don't realize it, even if it doesn't knock their subscription out. I don't know. I don't have any explanation for it. It's bizarre.
For a long time, I was set as private, and I noticed when I clicked that off to public, I started getting more then. Well, people know that, they get the little notification up there that says, hey, so-and-so subscribed to you. I started to pick up subs then. I know you're not supposed to do sub for sub and all that, and YouTube's kind of against all of that. But by and large, people will sub you back if you sub them, if they know that you did.
You know what? It's a net positive.
Yeah.
So whether YouTube is taking away 1%, 2%, 10%, or 50%, it's more than you had yesterday.
Exactly.
And the people who want to come back will come back. So there's really no downside to it. It's not like you're paying to subscribe.
And sometimes they'll just pull them. It's like they pull them and scrub them to make sure they're real. And then they do put them back.
Yeah, they'll do a queue. I've seen that before. I'll see my number jump up, and I'm like, I've never seen it there. And then what's happened is there's a queue, and it'll put them back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They won't. It's like a credit score. They're not going to tell you what all's in there. But we just try to kind of figure it out. All I know is that instead of worrying about it, There are people
Just
that worry
video.
about that endlessly. You just keep hammering, and eventually,
Like I said on that video I did when I first got TubeBuddy, and I got TubeBuddy just so I could make my thumbnails easier.
mm-hmm.
And I was going through it, and I said, "Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff in here, but I can't focus on that. All I got to focus on is get video out there." So for a long time, the only thing I used on TubeBuddy was just the uh, thumbnail generator, and I didn't even want to dive into anything else. I was just concentrated on getting video out there and getting
Mm-hmm.
out there and doing something.
That doing it is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when people sit on content because they got to get it perfect, I'm telling you, rarely will I do something like that. Will I sit on something until I get my production just right? Most of the time, 99+% of the time, the answer is just get it out.
Yeah.
Right, because some of the stuff I thought was junk did better than the stuff I worked hard at.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I just flew through because it was running out of time. It's crazy. I don't understand it.
Later calling.
Or you have that rush one that you can't really edit very well. You get about two
Yeah.
edits into it. Now I just got to throw it out there. That's the one that'll take off. The one that you just get perfect, crickets.
Yeah. My most watched video has some of the least editing. It has a little tiny bit, but it's 2 minutes long, and it's just hardly any editing. And it's not even short. You just never know. And it'll pick up right now because it's the one with the drunks to football game. So it's football season. I'll see that one pick up a little bit right now. I'm sure I will. That thing makes me $5 a month, and all I have to do is just let it sit there and run.
Yeah.
That's all that counts, Kim, as long as you're getting good views.
Exactly. Right there.
You know, the nice thing about making content like this is once you make it and once you post it, it doesn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this old content, even if it's not performing well, it still is performing, and it's still performing in the aggregate, right? So,
and people that sub you, a lot of them will go back and watch it from the beginning.
Yeah.
So you'll get comments off of something you did a year ago, and you'll, whoa, what? I got to go back and watch the video again. What was I talking about?
well, you know, if you have 100 videos that are out there, and they make you $1 a month a piece, and you have 100 of them, that's $100 a month that you're no longer doing any effort unless you choose to respond to a comment on it. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, how much of what we do is old work that still pays us, right?
Exactly.
If you sweep floors for a living, right? Man, I've swept a lot of floors. I worked for a machine shop when I was at Virginia Tech. I swept a lot of floors. I paid a lot of dues doing that, right? Hard work. But when I swept that floor, there's nothing about sweeping that floor yesterday that's going to make me a dime tomorrow, right?
Right.
The YouTube, that penny I made yesterday is a penny I make today on a video I no longer have to put any energy into.
Exactly.
Other than just answering a comment or something.
And answer the comments.
Pretty cool.
That's a great way to start, Alan. In the beginning, that's all I did too. I wasn't focused at all on the editing. By that, I mean adding in the YouTube music and stuff like that. Cut out your feet, like Blake says, you know. If you got a lot of dead time, especially in the beginning, and that first 5 minutes of a video, that's prime time. You want to keep them deadlocked into it. So you don't want a lot of going around looking for a tool, you know. You don't try to cut that stuff down. But you don't have to get fancy with it, with merges and fade ins and fade outs and all that production stuff. And the easiest way to do it is just like you said, just hit pause for a second, then go over and get the tool, and then hit go again.
You know, I used to do a lot more production like that, and I've learned that it's not rewarded, and sometimes the production takes a little bit away what you're trying to do.
Uh-huh.
And what I did is I kind of moved the production philosophy, and I don't know why it didn't occur to me sooner. I moved my production philosophy more in line with my automotive philosophy, which is I don't add anything that doesn't add function.
Yep.
If I add anything to a car, I have to get function from it. There has to be, it's like cars should never have all these parts they don't need that are just there to go bad. Like you lift the hood on a Honda and you see all these little coolant hoses, like, great, those don't serve any purpose, but when they go bad, they're going to leak. Okay,
Yep.
so you shouldn't have stuff like that. Same thing with production. If you're not actually getting a return from it, you shouldn't do it. So anytime I add any complexity to it, I got to get a return of some kind.
That's a great analogy on that.
Yep.
That would make a good video right there.
Maybe. No, but it's true. So like the CRV had these little coolant hoses that go to the throttle body. They started leaking. Coolant goes everywhere. So I'm like, well, I don't need this for anything. I put some high quality hose on there, some short bolts, because those little caps always start leaking. They make a big mess. They're not reliable. So I cut a bolt off, put it in a hose, clamp it with real clamps. I said, now that repair right there will last 20 years. And you know what? I did that years ago. It's never needed them back. The gas mileage is just as good. It runs great, no problems. I took some complexity out and made it more reliable, and it performs better. And with production, a lot of the glitchy, gimmicky stuff that we get in our videos comes from trying to overproduce them.
Overdo it. Mm-hmm.
It really does. Sometimes your weird audio disconnects and stuff all came from trying to overproduce stuff.
Well, look at our audience. Where we grew up watching all the big production shows.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And we got lied to. A lot of those are they're made for TV. They're made for entertainment. So we all went to YouTube so we could get the raw stuff. We want to see dirty fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it the same way. The more you try to make it look like one of the big shows that was on TV, the more you're taking it away from the people that are actually watching YouTube.
Yeah. But
don't show your feet.
Well, you're walking to the back of the car.
Well, that's the other thing, too. All of your videos should have purpose, too. So if you don't edit out the stuff that has no purpose, that's unnecessary clutter, too. So instead of adding it from production, you can also leave it when you should cut it out. If you have a 5-minute video, it needs to have 5 minutes of content. Yeah. And I have seen a lot of people will cram a 5-minute video into 15. I mean, that walking, looking at the floor and all of that, talking about unrelated stuff and opening that 30 seconds you spend opening a box, you're going to lose a couple viewers right there. Guarantee you. If you cut that 30 seconds of opening the box out, you will keep those viewers.
Unless it's an unboxing video.
Yeah, if it's part of the
oddly
process,
enough, people do.
Yeah, and sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. I mean, if you go and you go put on your readers and you look through a shelf forever for something, you're going to lose people.
That's exactly what I use, Kim. It's not even the old movie maker that was actually good. It's the new free Windows one. It takes me forever to edit a video.
Mopar's Mustangs minivans talk about it being busy. Well, I'll tell you what's the one thing that's busy, and I everybody's different.Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. I quit watching the news when the entire newscast, the news anchors were talking over top of music. And that happened, I don't know when it's probably been It could have been as far back as 10 years ago. 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 years ago. I noticed the newscast, the news anchors talk over music the whole time they're presenting the news. I just think it's the worst thing ever. I can't stand it. I guess there's something psychological about that. It's about keeping somebody's attention. But to me, I'm out. I'm out. I'd rather read it than that. And to me, that makes it busy.
Unfinished project. Did a good one for me when I was doing that carburetor rebuild that failed. I had a lot of speed ups in it because I was trying to get the video down in length, and so they were little speed ups, and they're little spots where there'd be no audio or no nothing. So I just put a loop soundtrack in it to talk over.
Sure.
But he brought up a dang good point. When he tries to listen to it on the closed captions, the music confuses it and it shuts closed captions off.
Yeah.
All it says is music.
Good point.
So I quit doing that now.
I'll use music when when I speed it up, if it's long enough.
And
there is no audio, I'll do that. Like I did it at the demo derby. I did about 30 seconds of walking through the pits looking at other cars. In fast motion, just to kind of show people the feel of what was there. And I put some appropriate music in for that. But I mean, to my thought is, if you drown yourself out with music purposefully while you're talking in a video, what you say, it must not be very important.
Yeah.
That's just my thought.
So it has its place, but if you put it in the right place, it works. If you don't, yeah, you'll lose people.
And some people you can lose, and that's fine. I mean, can't lose everybody.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I lost a couple of subscribers because I painted a Ford engine green.
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
How bad did it hurt you?
A few years ago, I did a video.
Mercury. They're supposed to be green. Shh.
Well, a few years ago, when remember when the mask mandates were kind of a new thing, like spring of 2020? I did a video where I started the video wearing a mask, but a gas mask, an Israeli gas mask, had a big canister on it, the whole thing, right? I started the video with that and then took it off and started talking. The guy got mad about that. He said, "No politics, man." I'm like, "What politics?
What politics?
We are all ordered to wear this thing. So no matter how much you don't care about politics at that time, you couldn't go anywhere without a mask, right? So there's no politics in it. It's just called daily life. It's a thing, right?" But anyway, he got all mad. I don't care. That's fine. That's fine. If he's that triggered and fragile, I don't need him as a sub. That's totally cool. But the funny part is, I was subscribed to him.
Probably still a sub.
I was subscribed. I'd probably. But I was subscribed to him, and I'm like, well, I don't want to cut your subs in half by unsubscribing from you. So.
But you'll get that in the comments. Yeah. You don't focus on that, the negativity a bit. Let it roll off your back.
You have to. I've learned this year more than any other year. Boy, you can get just punched in the face for doing absolutely nothing to deserve it. This year it's been like, yeah.
Now here's a guy that's got the music part down though. The way he does his voiceover with it, I don't know. The music that he's got going with the way he talks works very, very well. Russell, you're killing it, man. And the new format that you've got and that groove that you've got going now is golden, man. I remember your very first videos when they were really long and you had a lot of fat in them. And we were pushing and pulling and we were trying everything and then once you slipped into your groove, man, you nailed it. Proud of you, man. I'm really proud of Outfits Garage.
Okay, BNR. I was just thinking, I'm a moderator on this channel. I forgot all about it.
Uh-oh. You going to put me in a timeout?
No, yeah, I can't, no, I don't think I can. I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. Have to cut the fat. Thanks, man. I was just thinking I could have put the link up for.
Yeah, Outfits Garage, you just got it now. This new way that you're doing everything is just, it's perfect, man. And it shows. Yeah, I mean, you just once you got that, you just started to grow.
I don't know where he was at, like 5. Was he at 546 or 570 or something? I forget. I looked. Was that like 5? I'll have to look again. Hey, Barrows, did you see I won the rat rod, the hot rod, or the rat rod wagon?
From 162?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still got to go back and watch the last one. I
Yeah.
see it in my notifications now.
Yep, I just talked to him earlier. I'm having him shipped to Tennessee, so hopefully I can bring it to the No Name Nationals with me. So hopefully I'll have it with me there.
Oh,
Yeah, so we all can get a good look at it.
a little spoiler alert there.
Yeah. Yep. I was pretty excited.
Man.
I
That
never
is
win
so
it.
cool.
I hardly ever win anything. But I told him, I said, well, if I could get it to the No Name Nationals, I'll put it right on top of the Buck Skylark and everybody can come take a look at it.
I'll put a sticker on it.
Yep, you can do that too. And I told him, I said, get a sign. I said, get a sign. I'll hang a sign on it, built by 162.
You don't have to worry about my stickers messing anything up because they just fall off.
Yeah, I just had to put some super glue on the last one because you sent me 2 and I put one on, it fell right off. This one I had to put super glue on. The super glue doesn't even want to hold it.
I don't know what they made them things out of, but yeah.
Paper. It's actually paper.
Is it?
Yeah. And the paper the sticky stuff stays there, but the paper, when it's out in the rain too many days, it just starts peeling off. Mike CR 162 Customizing built a rat rod wagon, just a little tiny radio flyer wagon, and he built a rat rod.
He's got a whole series on how he built it and everything.
Yeah. I enjoyed that series. I liked watching it.
I've kind of been with him since the beginning too, and yeah, that is the next cool part. And for a lot of you, that are just, that are making it now into the No Name 500, and you've crossed that line, for the next year, you'll you'll have these little channels that come up, and mentoring them up through and stuff. It's just fantastic to see people just, even when they blow your doors off, like Buck just did to me. He's got a nice set of taillights, I'll tell you.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. All right. Yeah, I did go past you. Yeah, I actually passed Buff too. Now.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's at 2.243. I just hit 245. I was gonna put the link up to the rat rod. I don't know if you could do the shorts. I think you could put a link up to the shorts, can't you?
You can.
Yeah.
They're a little trickier to link because some of them are so short by the time the page loads, it skips to the next one.
Okay.
They are trickier to link, but you can do it.
Let's try it.
Outfits is mentioning bringing some t-shirts, supposed to have some stickers. Yes, guys, bring your t-shirts. Bring
Yeah.
your swag, stickers, do
Buck
that.
does t-shirt.
Yeah, I've been reminding you guys, you're welcome to do that. I mean, we're going to have shirts for sale at the event, but I'm telling you, all you content creators are welcome to do it because this is about you guys.
Oh, and Buck, your QR works. If
Yes,
I
my
pause your
son-
video,
Yeah, my son did it too.
Nice.
Yeah, right over the screen.
You couldn't have done that in the 144p days, could you?
No, I
Not a
thought that
chance.
when, after I ordered it, I thought that's kind of stupid because I already got the card and I got it on my phone, but everybody liked it, so I left it on there. Because I ordered some shirts, so when I'm down there at No Name Nationals, I got a billboard on my back,
Here's the thing, though. I couldn't have that shirt because if somebody walked up to me and said, "Hey, let me take a really close-up picture of your pec," I probably would, distance them involuntarily. That just is weird.
Yeah. Well, there's a link to the Rat Rod Wagon if anybody wants to take a look at it. It's pretty cool.
Way cool.
Square Body Stuff's bringing some shirts and such. Yep. Looking forward to meeting Chad. Good dude.
Totally cool guy. Totally.
Yep.
And it's to the time now that we can save y'all a stamp and shipping. We're going to see each all of us together.
Indeed we can.
Yeah. Oh, shucks. Everyone should wear a name tag that says unfinished project. You never know the difference if they meant the real one. Well, Mopar Den, if you had that on, I'd know who you are.
Yeah, that is a game in and of itself. Who's going to be the first one to find unfinished project at the No Name Nationals? I mean, you guys could make a trophy for that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, he just said I'll have to see what I got to do down there. That's true. They just grabbed you square body stuff. Yeah. I've been ever since that we was on that one live. I subscribed to him.
And his video on the Redcoat is what? Yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and try it again. That's the reason I Redcoated that tank of mine. I'm always leery about that because I've had bad experiences with relining gas tanks before.
Yeah, that's cool beans, Mike.
And so far it's working. I got no residue or any flake in my filters, so yeah.
Howdy, Yeri. That's unacceptable.
Yeah, Ari, this is just kind of a wild swagged pickup live. Seeing how I was neck deep in that Mercury on Saturday.
The green Mercury.
I can't believe Stevens
like the color.
is the identical color. It's same patina and everything.
Uh-oh. 11 days now. Double Harley.
Whew. It is. I got 7 days.
That's my favorite.
7-11.
11 days.
Do you still have number 42?
I have 42. Hang on just a second.
That's what you ought to do, John. Bring all of the orange papers and then put them out for sale, and then give the proceeds to St. Jude's. Everybody could buy their number.
I have some of them.
Oh, there you go.
Buck a piece. Uh-oh.
Heck, I'd give a couple bucks for number 42.
I have them all.
I forget which one I was when was I number 31 that made it through?
I'm sorry.
The only one that's not in that pile is this one, because that's the day I made the book. And that book is
211?
getting thick, by the way.
Man, 11 days.
I need to add sold another ticket, so need to add another one to that right now.
Oh, how many more days are left for advance buying spectator tickets?
Dallas had cut it off tomorrow if he could. I'm trying to be as generous as I can, but here's the thing. I'm going to leave on Tuesday. So I may pull down advanced ticket sales and pull down registration on Sunday, as in a week from now, like midnight Sunday. So a week from like this minute, I will probably pull that down because I just can't handle it on the road. I don't want to miss anybody. I've got a sheet that I'm going to give the ticket booth that'll basically be like will call. Okay, I've got to do that, and the way I figure is that if we call it 5 days short, everybody will have had 259 days to buy an advance ticket. Okay, that's good enough.
Yeah. And it's only a few bucks more to buy them at the gate too, so if you miss it, you can still get it.
Yeah, 20 at the gate, 15 online. But I just can't. If your plan is to just wait till you get there and then not make that commitment and then go online and buy them in the parking lot, you won't be able to do that. You definitely can't do that because there's just no way. I can't be like running back to the ticket gate to try to make that happen. So, yeah, I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to pull that site down midnight on Sunday a week from now. You heard it here.
Okay.
So if you want to save your money, that's how you got to do it.
I know I got one because the wife's coming with me for it.
Yeah. And what I'm trying to do, by the way, and I may not 100% get this because people use different emails. The wife will register, the husband will buy tickets, but I'm trying as much as I can to put your will call spectator tickets with your registration. If you have a car registered and you've bought tickets, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do that because if I have 3 members of the family all buying tickets, but I'm trying to do that. Like, for example, Lars has a spectator ticket with JB's entry because they're bringing one vehicle.
Uh-huh.
But I've put them together because I assume they're traveling together. And it might make it easier. I don't know. I don't know if it'll make it easier or harder. We're going to find out. But everybody's accounted for. So.
I just wasn't sure if my dad was going to be able to make it or not.
Oh, man, I hope so. Is he going to be able to make it?
No, he's not feeling good enough for it.
Okay. We'll see closer to time. We'd love to have him.
He wants to. He wants to real bad.
Well, Barrow set him up with that seat, and he can be with us while we're down there. Right?
His hips are just getting too bad. He can't sit that long now.
I wish he could bring a ride truck. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, those days are long gone.
Yeah, I know, but I think about y'all. Think of Monsters. By the way, I'm going to try to do it. I've been way too swamped, but I've got an interview. I'm going to get lined up here as soon as this No Name Nationals is behind us, the inaugural running, with a former monster truck owner operator, and I've been wanting to do that for some time. So, looking forward to that.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
We're a different crowd.
Yeah, but it's you know what? I mean, I like all this. I mean, I'd be happy to do interviews with like powerboat people, soapbox derby people. If you're anywhere in the sphere, we'd like to have you.
Well, the whole racing community is all, no matter what
Yeah,
class you're in or whatever.
right.
They're all, when
Sure.
we were doing the micro sprints, it was the same way with the monster trucks and the same way with the drag race. Everybody helps each
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
in the pits, and they don't give you all the secrets, but they'll help you along.
I've got some mud racing content coming up soon. I mean, it's
I used
all
to
cool.
like them guys, man.
Yeah.
They go right over the top of that 3 foot of mud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
0.39
Lying.
seconds. You get gone. That was cool. I used to love them. The same way with the guys on the motorcycles flying through the air. Monkey bike people.
Yeah, I was just thinking when you said motorcycles flying through the air, I thought of the monkey bikes.
Yeah, that's Lars. Yeah. He's the monkey bike maniac.
Lars was
like
doing
to-
about 190 on that thing, wasn't he? So
I was
Nice.
going to
Yeah.
say.
I said to JB, I said either Lars was flying on that mini bike or he had it in fast forward.
You know, I actually looked at that. I actually did, because if you look closely at like the leaves blowing the trees and stuff, you can tell when people do that. But no, he was going that quick.
He was going that fast. And
I
he
think,
said
I,
it was
think I saw
downhill.
him pass a pro mod somewhere in there. You know. He was moving.
Been one of them weekends.
Uh-oh, Irish, what's going on?
He's starting over again.
Ooh. Artemis ain't hurt, is it?
No, Blanche is hurt.
Ugh.
They keep a knocking, but they can't come in.
So Blanche was more than a timing chain,
Oil pumping on it, yeah.
oil pump.
Well, he put the oil pump and stuff in, and I was thinking when I heard that, I said, man, I haven't seen too many Fords that you put an oil pump in, and oil pressure comes back.
I was just going to do a video on that. The one
What's
that I did run way too long, but yeah, Fords, you got to be careful with the silicone in them.
I had a
Their oil
351
pumps
modified.
do not like them.
I had a 351 modified that I just stuck back together. It had a little tiny rod knock for a long. And here it ended up. My neighbor where I lived, he bought it, and I used to hear that thing knocking for about 3 years later, and it just kept going and going and going. I thought, man, that thing's just gonna pop one day. It never did. Yep. I put the wrong size bearings in a small block Chevy one time. I messed up when I ordered them, and I put them in anyway, and it had just a little tiny knock. And my buddy says, "Well, just keep running it until it gets embarrassing." so that's what we did. It got embarrassing, so I ordered a whole crank and rod kit, and we tore it out, put the crank and bearing kit in it, and put it back in. The engine was still warm. Going back together. Oh my God.
How many times you've, especially a Ford, put the transmission in and then reached up to the front to roll it over, and it goes, And you look back there and oh yeah, you crushed that pump seal. I fully admit to it once.
Oh, once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many times, but I've been down that road. That was the stupidest thing. I have to line them 4 freaking studs up.
Yeah, in a hurry, in the cold, trying to change the transmission in a Ford Explorer. Yeah,
Horrible.
with the transfer case on it. Yeah, I don't recommend that. That was a tranny job I got to do twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
The ones I hated was like the 91 to 93 Taurus, I think they were. Somebody else said, "Oh, they're not that bad." I said, "Hell, it used to take 8 or 9 hours to take one out, put one in." Even the friend of mine that used to fly around, he'd do stuff real fast. Still took him 3.5, 4 hours to do it because of all the stuff you got to do.
And poor JB in that.
That's another one. That's
yeah.
Those 2 top bolts.
Yeah. I mean, you almost want to break out the cutoff wheel and zip a little access door up there on the tranny hump.
he said that. He said, "I almost got a hole in the floor to get to the."
Doing an engine in a Jeep Grand Cherokee. That's one that when you're trying to get to those top bolts makes you think, okay, my odds, what percent are my odds if I take a hammer and just smack the bell housing, it only cracking those 2 ears off? That's kind of where you get to with those, somewhere about 6 hours in. When we were doing that, we had about 4 feet of extension.
Yep.
And we were wedged in between the exhaust and the transmission and all kinds of stuff. And we could move the ratchet about that far. And with a swivel, and we had a real certain size socket, a short 12-point with maybe it might have been 2 swivels to get the amount of angle because it's offset a little. And we could clearly look at it and say, man, it would have taken so little to change the stamping of this floor pan, and it wouldn't have been a problem.
Yep.
It was miserable.
And then when you got all that tension and you're about ready to break it loose and you're on all them extensions, that's just one big torsion bar. And when she lets loose, wham, you smack yourself right in the...
Well, it constantly likes to... The rules of physics like to laugh at you because, you're putting about 800,000 pound feet on it and then it just, all that stuff's got that stored torsion mess in it.
Speaking of which, Sunday night, I was changing the spark plugs in that Mercury. And I'm up here, and my dad's over here on the fender. Otherwise, I would have been over there. So I'm doing it kind of awkward. And the AC bracket is right there. And that thing is a razor edge. Ford was, they wanted to get me. And I'm over here pulling on that spark plug to get it to break loose. And she broke, and I smacked my funny bone right on that razor edge AC bracket. And right there. The skin peeled back like that, and that bone was sticking out.
Oh, my.
I hit that funny bone so hard, it hurt for 2 days.
Man.
Went running in the house, grabbed the super glue, and he pushed it back together and squirted super glue over on it and went back out there. Just peeled the skin, there's no meat there on your elbow bone right there.
Connected to the shin bone.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, you made my elbow hurt just saying that, Barrows.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All night long, yeah. These 2 fingers right here, they just tingled all night long. And the ones that didn't tingle hurt.
Hardy, hard. Did you see that little short video that Bubba Ayers put out he was tickling the engine? That's what that just reminded me of. Lars liked that one. Mr. Lippy, or my Lippy.
So where's everybody at on their projects? I know Irish. He's chest deep in a M block.
Well, I guess you saw I got the plates for my car, so I've been driving it around, but I haven't done anything with it. I'm just going to run it the way it is and see what happens.
I get reports of stuff like that where people are got little problems come up the last minute. I'll tell you, see now that little problem's like, no, why did it wait till now?
Yeah.
And Irish Outlaws in that category. Just Mopar Joe had this little funky shifting glitch. He's like, no, not now. You know, I had this transmission out a couple of times this season. Not now. The car's supposed to be ready to go. And it was just a misadjusted shifter. That's all it was. But it was still scary.
Doc Art had a good one. Whoa, that was spooky.
Yeah, I missed that.
Oh gosh, yeah, he had his he had something disconnecting his steering, and he drifted all the way across the other lane at the track and got it stopped right before the wall. And if it had drifted the other side, he'd have dragged the guard wall. If the other car had been a little closer, they'd have hit. He got really lucky on that.
Scary one.
Yeah. But everybody I'm seeing test right now has problems to fix when they test. Everybody. And those who don't test and show up, they're just going to have their problems at Sykeston. And we'll be figuring them out there. But I've not seen anybody test that had no problems. Everybody has had some problems. I know that Brad from Poor Boy's Garage, he had some transmission stuff to work through. Just Mopar Joe thought he did. It was a shifter thing. I know Al Slaghammer, he's got to work out some fuel delivery stuff. Everybody's got some little something that they don't discover until they actually get on a track and run it. Because it's not like the street. Tracks are unforgiving. They hook and go. And I think that what people are going to learn, since so few people coming to the No Name Nationals have ever been on track before, they're going to learn the value of testing. Those who don't do any, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I would have liked to go to track today, but I was at a craft show.
Yeah, well,
but I mean, I've been out on the street and playing around and stuff, and you know, I had that one problem where the throttle stuck to the floor, but we got through that. But otherwise, I've been running it around. It runs good.
Yeah, that testing's important. It's going to be interesting. I think that there's going to be all kinds of surprises for the better and the worse with what happens with people's cars. Auto Salvage Outlaws, some got 5 days left and no time unless they work 24. You know, the most time anybody had was 264 days. If I take that times 24, that's 6,336 hours, right? And then, yeah, we did adjust for a daylight time in there. So let's take one away, but then let's add 8 till the gates open. And then there was the time of day that we did it. So let's take away 20. So that's 6,323 hours that we had in the beginning.
Wow.
6,323, if I did that right. And
in the beginning, the No Name Nationals would have already been done. We'd all be back home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're past that day. That's right.
Yeah.
So now what we have is, if I'm figuring this correctly, so, and then we're going to add those 8 hours in for the gate, right? The gates open Friday in 271 hours and 40 minutes. There's 318 will run.
Hello, 318.
How's it going, 318 will run?
Howdy, guys. Just had a couple minutes, so I thought I'd step in.
Hey, man.
Welcome.
It's cool. Good to see you. Here's one of
How's
these
yours
guys that
coming along?
quietly got his stuff together.
I didn't have much to do outside of the project that we just did on the heads of the van, but technically I wouldn't have had done nothing to the van. I could have just started up and drove down.
Cool.
And who are you calling out on that again?
Hoosier Garage.
Hoosier, that's right. Van races.
Just something for fun.
When are you rolling in to Sykeston?
It'll either be Thursday night or Friday morning. Depends on which route I go.
We're going to try to do a group photo at 10 o'clock Friday morning. If you can make it, I'd like to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to see how it plays out because
Yeah.
I may. Okay, switch
Hey.
time.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Depends on which route I go down
Hello,
there and
hello.
what time I'm able to get there, but hopefully.
And where are you coming from again?
I'm in the northwest corner of Illinois. Probably going to be a 8-hour drive in the van.
That's manageable.
Well, hello, Mr. John, Mr. Buck, Mr. Bell Rose.
Hello,
How's
Mr.
it going,
Auto
ASO?
Salvage Outlaw.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
I
Well, if you
was wondering
complain,
how
nobody
many people
listens
are
anyway.
driving. They're, driving their car that they're bringing. I was wondering how many people are driving them.
A lot. A lot of people trailering, a lot of people driving. Everybody's going to be camping and everything from a sleeping bag to a toter home. I mean, there's everything in between. Tents. There'll be lots of creative ways to crash at the track, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll be in the tent.
Yeah, we ain't no way we can make it. Our SUV's going to the shop on a major recall, and it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks before we get it back.
Eee.
So, yeah, there's no way we can make it this time.
How far away are you?
398 miles away, 6-hour drive. So, yeah, I was looking forward to it, but there ain't no way we can do it, you know. Maybe the next one we can, you know.
Dang it. I was looking forward to meeting you, man.
Yeah, me
Yeah, I
too.
know. Me too. Me too.
Even if you just show up in a rental car or something.
Yeah, I got so much going on. I'm redoing 3 cars at one time, and 2 of them I've had for 2 years, and I got to get them done and finish them up and get them out of here where I can concentrate on our next one.
What part of Alabama you in there?
About 20 miles from Talladega Speedway.
20 miles from Talladega.
Yeah, Talladega.
Have you ever been there?
Was there back in April.
Oh,
The first race I've ever attended was in April.
And you're right there.
And it was fun. It was real fun. Took grandbaby up there, and he had a ball.
That one, Charlotte, and Bristol are the 3 tracks I'd like to see something go on on all 3 of them.
Yep. Talladega and Bristol's 2 of my favorite tracks. I'd love to take a car around Bristol.
I have.
Oh, the salad
I
bowl.
have.
Oh man,
It's cool. It's steep. It doesn't actually look that steep when you drive around it, but when you get down in the infield and look up at it, you're like, how did a car stay on this?
yeah, yeah,
It looks like a wall.
right. And see, Talladega is so steep. When you stepping on the track at Talladega, it's almost like you on one of these steep roofs, and you're almost like parallel to the track. It's it's weird.
I've walked up the bank at Charlotte before, and as steep as it feels, Bristol's steeper. But
Wow.
Bristol, down at Bristol in the corners, it just looks like a wall. You look up at it, like I have no idea how a car could possibly stay on that.
It's
Well,
amazing.
even the straightaways are slanted at Bristol.
Oh yeah,
The
they're like
whole
18
track
degrees.
Yeah.
But Bill Elliott's got the most still got the record of the most miles per hour at Talladega, and I think it was like 211, 210, I think.
212.
212, 212. Yeah, that's moving right there. That is moving.
And that 212 is a lap average. I mean, the maximum speed was probably on the order of 227, 228 in the straightaways.
Yeah.
Right. It's a wonder that car didn't take off like a jet.
He would have if it got sideways.
Mm-hmm.
They're better about that now, but.
Well, that's just like Bobby Allison had that wreck at Talladega at that time. That's what caused them to have restrictor plates when it went into the stands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what caused them to have restrictor plates.
I don't know if they still do it, but when they do the speedway and lights, all of Bruton Smith's tracks do that in the winter, and you can go in there and they decorate Bristol in lights, and the TVA pays for the electricity for it. And you drive in and they have lights everywhere. They used to do it down the dragway. I don't think they still do anymore. And you would drive all down in there, and used to even drive down the strip backwards and just look at the lights. You don't do that anymore. But the speedway, I don't know if you still make a lap around it when you go in to drive in, but you can. So if they still do that, you can not only go to Bristol, but if you go in the winter, you can go and make a lap around it that way.
Holy cow.
Yeah. If you drive down to the infield, they have it all decorated up in lights. It's pretty neat. And you drive under the stands, too. You even drive underneath of the stands because there's not a race going on. There's going to be people there. It's an interesting way to tour the place.
Right. And going to the museums at the track is pretty interesting. It's a lot of fun just to walk through there and look at some of the cars. Oh, it's interesting. I've always liked drag racing anyway. I like round track too, but my happy place is a drag strip.
I took a tour of Daytona Speedway I was in 2000, and we stopped at I can't remember exactly where it was, but I remember we were touring it, down on a little tractor, right? And we're stopping and we're looking up at one of the turns, and the tour guide, whatever it was, they were mentioning something about Dale Earnhardt, and I had no idea that a few months after that would be the very spot Earnhardt would have his fatal wreck. Right after that.
Oh, really?
Same turn. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was weird.
Man, oh, man, oh, man.
The only time I've been to Daytona. Never been there for a race, but I was there for that tour.
And there's a lot of history at Daytona. That place been going. Well, it was going so long that they used to have to beat the tide because it was actually on the beach.
Oh, the construction of that track is interesting.
Mm-hmm. They used to do land speed records there, everything. That was a neat place.
Yeah, that's where I think NASCAR got its start at, was Daytona.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
They used to have some big races down there back in the day. Yeah, I like the 80s, the late 70s, 80s, 90s NASCAR races back when it was racing. The day these drivers don't know what a race is around the track.
Yeah, I haven't watched NASCAR since, oh Lord, too long ago.
If you ain't never been to one live, put it on your bucket list. It's fun. It's really fun to experience all the sounds. If you really want to experience it, just come off the bleachers and go under the bleachers. You'll really experience the sound when the cars go by. Because the cars that go by, and about 10, 15 seconds later, then you hear the motors running. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, or go down near the fence.
Do what, Buck?
I said, or go down near the fence.
Yeah. Yep.
Bah, bah, bah,
Yep.
bah, bah. Yeah.
That's wild.
I've been to Darlington and Pocono.
Yeah, you got to ride on Pocono, didn't you?
Yeah, I got to ride my motorcycle around Pocono racing. Yeah. You got to do 5 laps.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
Mopar Den says the future EV series will be like watching slot cars. They're going to do that next. I already, to me, the last nail in the coffin of NASCAR, in my opinion, was when they got rid of all of the DNA of the stock car. And they went to that rear transmission, paddle shifted single lug nut. I mean, that was to purge away all remaining DNA of the original stock car.
Right, I agree.
And to me, that was just it. The 18-inch wheels and all that. I'm like, if I wanted to watch Formula racing, I'd watch Formula racing.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't know what a pit stop even sounds like now. I bet it's real different with that single lug deal. Gotta sound. I haven't even been curious enough to look it up.
They probably use cordless guns now.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's cordless now.
So there's no zip 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 zip.
No.
Might not even hear
and
it.
that's a big part of it. That's one of those intangibles that,
To me, it's more funner to go down the track straight than it is to go around and stay turning to the right or to the left.
Well, even drag racing, I've noticed that. I like the nostalgia drags. I like to see a car take off and do the torque up, and they just, and you see them come to the line, and they just angry, let me go machines, and they just, it's everything wrong because they're losing torque when they do that, so they're not getting a true bite, so they're losing a little bit of time on it, but it just looks so right because it's so wrong.
Right.
Look how much used to be going on with drag racing that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, yeah, they don't do dry hops anymore. They don't. They by and large don't have girls backing up the cars anymore because they have radio. They don't do dry hops because the tires are different. They don't. I'm just talking about fuel. They don't hit the throttle to seat the clutch anymore. Now they hold the brake. Pro stock runs lower RPM fuel injection. They're not changing valve springs like they used to in the pits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of these things that contribute to the servicing of those cars and the user experience are just kind of going away. Everything is becoming tamer and more predictable, and I think it's diminishing the show.
Right. There's too much.
I always liked drag racing because it pertained to me what I was doing on the street. Way back then, you go up to a town where they had stoplights, whether you were stoplight warrant or taking somebody out of town. They basically were doing on the strip what I was, what you could do on a back road. So I could relate in my mind what was going on, and I was always attracted to that. I guess I never really got into circle track, probably because of that.
I think
I
mine,
know.
mine was like Bill Road talking about the old cars, the getting out there and just tearing the strip up, you know?
But
I
it's,
mean, my favorite place to sit was right on the line. So you could just, you see the launch. I care less what happens at the end. For
Well,
me,
at the
all
end,
the excitement was right there.
well, up at the end, you're just waiting for their time anyway.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, the run is done the half track at the most. So then you're just seeing who can hang on without blowing up and what time they give you.
That's a cool thing about drag racing, too. I think it's the only motorsport that you're not sitting at the finish line. The hot seats are at the start.
Yeah.
Of
Right.
course,
Right.
there's no big time bleachers down there because of what could have happened down at the end. But, that's kind of interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
on the flip side of that, when the guy went down with a street car, a lot of times a street car might have 323 gear in there, and you might be beside a 72 Nova with a 350 4-barrel cam headers. He's a bracket car because he's got 456 and a 4,000 stall in it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, you know, why I really like the quarter mile versus the eighth mile is the guy with the 323 and a street torque converter. You might be behind at the eighth, but you can close that gap and pass him, before the end. So the big end's really important if you got a street geared car. If you're talking just a bracket car, you haul it on a trailer, it's not licensed, it's got one tail light, all of that stuff. If you got 488 gears and a 4,000 stall, the last eighth you're just revving anyway. But for the street guys, a lot of times if you were on his bumper at the eighth, you could get around him that last eighth.
Hey, easy now, not registered one tail light. That might resemble some people coming with their street cars to this no-name national. I wouldn't put it past some of them.
Yeah, one of my turn signals just start going slow. So I must have one out.
Hey, I'm unplugging one headlight for the no-name nationals. I'm only going to run with one headlight.
Okay. You don't have to run with either. The track is lighted. Do you really think that the field in your alternator is going to, what are we talking about here?
It's an honor for the Cinderella Award.
That's a nice track up there. I Googled it. It's nice.
It's very nice.
It's nice.
Very, very nice. By the way, for what it's worth, especially if you're staying there overnight, I'm going to try to make the quiet end of the pits up toward the front at the participant gate and the rowdier end of the pits down toward the ticket shack. All the pit spaces are good. There's not a bad pit space in the house. It's dead flat, level, paved, long spaces, all of that. But I'm just thinking, if we're going to have a rowdy end, put the rowdy end down there where the ticket shack is and the quieter end up toward the gate.
That's a good way to do it.
And they can be closer to the bar, and I can be closer to people who don't tell nasty jokes and stuff. And that's just the way I would prefer it to be.
So John, is there a gate? How we get in and out after? Is there a gate?
Right. So the gate that's on Sandywood Road is the spectator gate.
Okay.
That's the spectator gate. It's the spectator parking. The participant gate is going to be on the road perpendicular to that runs behind the timing tower. Okay. And it goes into the paved pits, and there's a gate there too.
So what I'm saying is all our campers that will be coming in later at night. Do we have to open the gate to get in, and then
we'll make sure. We'll make sure that we have access. We're going to open the gates at noon on Thursday, but there's going to be so many people there. We're going to make sure that we have access for people to get in at weird hours and stuff.
Okay. Are they staffing help all night long, or are they leaving at a certain time and coming back?
Either way, we're going to make sure it's covered. I know that the staff won't be there for running, concessions and all that all night, but there'll be long days for them. But we're going to make sure things like the gates are covered. And the restrooms are certainly 24 hours. And
Right. We go to Lambert's at 6 and then don't get back till 11. You know.
well, who knows? And we'll get back when we get back, but we'll get in.
Right. Right.
And Thursday is a work day, so
Yeah, and some people might not get back till 3, but
I know what Thursday's going to be. It's going to be a whole bunch of people standing around watching us work day. But Dallas and I are going out Wednesday because we got stuff that we're just going to get as much done Wednesday as we can.
well, you got to have
And
the safety coordinator, you got to have the union inspector, you got to have the engineer, the president of the company,
that's
all
John.
standing
That's
around
all
watching the
above.
one
The
guy with a
pres-
shovel.
Well, the president of the AHRA is going to be there. The tech guy is the safety guy. He's going to be there. The registrar is going to be there. So we got the people there we need.
And I'm willing to lend a hand any way I can.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. We only got a couple things I'm not sure how I'm going to do yet. I got one banner I'm not sure how I'm going to hang. And I think I got it figured out. And then I got one thing I need to put a grate over. There's a hole up in the burnout pit area. I need to get a grate over. I got to figure out how I'm going to do it. What I'm thinking is I can throw a piece of 1/4-inch plate over it and anchor it down. But that's the tough part. I got to figure out how I'm going to anchor it. I just got to make it safe. I don't want anybody driving over it or breaking an ankle in it because we're just using a part of the facility that's not normally driven over or walked over. And we just want to make sure to make that safe.
what's the hole for? What,
It's a drain.
it's just a drain?
It's a drain. We can cover it up while we're there. It's no problem. I just don't want anybody dropping a tire or an ankle in that thing.
Yeah.
They ran the internet cable. I don't know what day they did it. They did it this week, and the track operator messaged Dallas to let him know it's there. So Dallas will be out there Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, getting the mesh network in. We are supposed to have really good internet all throughout the pits this year. That's the goal. So we're going to have a mesh network with, tethered together repeaters all throughout the pits so that we should have good internet, really good quality internet from the track, which it's never had before. Which no
What's
race
the password? Dart Sport.
it might be. That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good with 2 exclamation points.
Yeah.
Just on that first round, make sure somebody gets a lot of filming of all them red lights and send it to me while I can laugh.
Oh, yeah. Well, the good news is that we have first round buybacks for St. Jude's. So, $20 first round buyback. And there's no reason not to get in the bracket. I think everybody's just getting the bracket. If you just want to go make a parade lap, you can. You don't have to. No one's telling you how hard you have to run. You ought to be competitive. Just do it and try it. Because there's a lot of people who've never been down a track before. And perfect opportunity. It doesn't cost you any more. And if you want to get a second try at the first round, you can do a buyback. And the buybacks normally, I think, are 35 there. They're going to be 20 at our event, and that 20 goes straight to St. Jude. So
That's a good thing right there, John.
Yeah.
that's a good
The
thing.
bracket is included with the entry fee, right?
Yeah, exactly. Pays
everything's
$500 to win, and we do have some guys who are regular bracket racers. One of them may or may not be in this chat here, but 318 will run there. He's got a good shot at it. I don't know if you're going to get in the bracket.
I probably will. I don't think that I have a chance to be competitive with the van. I don't think I could cut a light with the van to be competitive, but I'll probably, my first run will probably be just with the Hoosier Garage, and then I'll probably just would take that dial in, and that'll be my dial in. But how in the world do you cut a light with a van that's probably going to cut a 2.7 or something?
You basically,
Well, but you got to remember, we're going to start each day with test and tune. So that we're going to get the track hot after we try to do group photo at 10. We'll do test and tune. And then we're going to have call outs mixed in with bracket rounds. We can do that. So You're going to have time to figure out what your dial is if you want to do it that way.
The dial will be easy, but to win, you got to cut a light. And that's just like, if I'm in my Duster, I have a chance, of doing something. But with the van,
You'd
I don't
be
know.
surprised.
Do I leave on the pre-stage?
Is it that slow reacting? I was going to say, what do you want them to tap you on the shoulder and says, "Hey, we're going to activate the tree here in a little bit."
When I had you saw that what Joe put on, right? That call out, that last one.
Which one was that?
You want me to
Dog
give
in
you
front? You saw that, right? That roll call Joe did.
Oh yeah, the roll call. Yeah.
Yeah, he had he's calling everybody. Well, he put me first. You saw my dog in front of the van, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all think I was joking, man? That dog's coming with me. He's gonna pull it.
You want me to give y'all some advice about that 318?
Go ahead.
When you line that van up to that light, and you line it up, go in a little bit further.
Stage deep.
Right there at that sensor. So when you take off,
I might just put deep on there.
Stage deep. Go deep. And you'll have that problem solved.
Well, see, me and the Adam, we're going Pro Tree.
Okay.
Oh.
That's
You
my
can
only
do Pro Tree. You can do Instant Green if you want to.
I think we'll do like a 400 Pro Tree.
Okay.
That's my only chance. He's never staged.
Has he done much racing?
He's never been on a track.
Okay. Most people who come into this event have not. The majority, I mean by a big margin, have never been down a track before. So and I think that's great. That's called how you grow a sport.
So if I can get 310s on him out of the hole and make him chase me down in the 8th mile, other than that, he's got more weapons on his than I do. I'm sure I'm going to lose. It's just all in fun. I don't care.
Yeah, well, yeah, you win by coming and hanging out and playing.
Oh, I get some cereal.
That's why we're doing Instant Green for the 28-10-5 class. Gives a lot of people a chance. Yeah, well, yeah, you win by coming and hanging out and playing. Someone got a YouTube browser phone. That's why we're doing Instant Green for the 28-10-5. Mm-hmm. Gives a lot of people a chance. Yeah, you win by coming and hanging out.
There's some feedback there I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That was me. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Hey, John, are you doing a bracket race both Friday and Saturday?
I don't think so unless Dallas wants to. We could, but I know that we're definitely running bracket on Friday.
Okay.
We're running 28-10-5. That'll be Saturday only.
Okay.
Test and tune both days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the burnout closes it on Friday.
Friday night, yeah. Are you sticking around Friday night? Or are you heading out?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Either I don't know. I'm still mapping out when I'm going to go, if I'm going to swing by my sisters, what I'm going to do.
Okay. Well, hopefully you can stick around because I know the burnout competition probably be a wild one.
Yeah, probably will be.
It'll be a lot of fun. I've been watching some of these burnout competitions from other events, and I gotta say, watching the burnout competition from Carlisle. The burnout competition from Carlisle, you watched from up on top of a hill about 100 yards away, and there were 4 cars that entered it. So Dodge sends this really expensive rig down there. They had 4 cars in it, and that didn't win. It was a guy with a 68 Charger and a Death Wish for suspension and tires that won. And it was on this weird little road course that's down in like this big drain crevasse thing at Carlisle. Thinking, what an odd way to watch a burnout competition. And I watched some of the YouTube coverage of the one that Cletus did in Bristol. Again, people were way far away from that. Had this little small pin in the infield. And it's great. The competitors are going to make what they make of it, but we want people to be able to get reasonably close so they can watch, and we'll have jersey barriers up. But that thing of watching from 100 yards away, this little space that's about 50 by 50, I think that's crazy. That just really disconnects people. Doesn't make sense to me. I mean, because the cars, even though they're wide open, how much speed can you get in that space? I don't know why people need to be that far away.
They afraid of tire debris or stuff?
In the case of Carlisle, I think that some of it is that the burnout competition is just kind of an afterthought to a lot of events.
Yeah, it's
just something going on the side. But we're actually going to close the track down to have it. It's going to become the focus of the event as soon as the last car goes down on Friday.
Do you have a time in mind?
6 or 7. I don't have it in front of me. I'd have to look. 6 or 7 p.m. It'll be under the lights.
What about the monkey bike race?
Yeah, so the monkey bike bracket has a 6 or 7. We'll let them run. We're going to run the bracket Saturday. They can test and tune all they want. Those things are flying. We've got 6 entries that I know of, and man, those things are fast. People have made them fast. I don't know who's going to win that, but that got real competitive real quick. And there's a bunch more people that want in it too. They just didn't get interested until late. And I wouldn't be surprised if we had a good-sized field for monkey bike next year.
Honestly, that's something that somebody could buy. Like they sell them right here at stores around me. That little CT 100 or whatever that is, the little Coleman thing. It's the same one. I can just, if a guy wanted to, you could literally just buy it and take it down there, even if you didn't win, just to be a part of it and have fun.
Sure, and you get points. The overall winner, I mean, that's a class. It pays points to enter. You can enter the burnout competition with your monkey bike too. And the best monkey bike burnout wins $100, and the overall burnout competition winner wins $500. You get
That's gonna be funny.
It'd pay for your bike.
Don't be surprised if a monkey biker wins the overall, because there's points associated, and the idea behind the points is to reward as much participation as possible. I mean, winning doesn't hurt. Winning's going to help you, but we don't want a fast car. We don't want to necessarily, because you're a ringer. We don't want money. We don't want any of that to determine who's going to win the overall, and it won't.
You're making it for everybody instead of just one to go out there and to nominate.
Yes,
that's the best way to do it right there.
Well, sure.
That's the best way to handle it.
I thought I had a monkey bike, but it's a CT 200.
Yeah, the 200 is bigger and it's more expensive. But I'll tell you, when people look at the speeds that the folks are getting out of those CT 100Us, they're like, wow. That was not fast forward that you saw Lars running that bike. I mean, they're getting them that fast. I got some reports of what those things are running and how fast they're getting. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I have a little bitty motor.
98 cc, 3 horsepower. Actually, James put one on the chassis dyno. And that engine, he put it in the video so I can say it. I'd have played poker with the numbers just to, mess with people. But it made, I think, about 2.7 horsepower on the second pull. Didn't even make that much on the first. I think he got 2.7 at the wheel, something like that, and 7 pound-feet of torque. And yet, these guys are really moving on these bikes.
Well, Volkswagens didn't have, 60 horsepower back in the day?
No,
I think it was 62.
62 cc?
No, the first Beetles, I believe, were 25. No, they were 25. They were 25 horsepower, and then they had a 30, 36, a 40. It wasn't until you got to a 1600 cc engine that the Volkswagens even got in the 50s of horsepower.
Right.
What are those little 100 supposed to do? Just if you bought one and started up and took off, like 28 mile an hour or something.
I don't even think they're that fast. They might go 25. I know that they've got them significantly quicker than that.
Are they
And if
racing
we-
like the 8th mile? Is that what they're doing with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, full 8.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
You know, if we hadn't put some kind of guardrails on this thing with the gearing and such, there will be people that might literally have these bikes going 80 miles an hour.
Oh,
Could
yeah.
you imagine going that fast on something that small? I mean, to me, that's just because it's got to
Tires
be
that
scary
big.
like it is. I know Kim had that one scary fast, reports are, and, you know, Lars has had it really fast.
See, next year y'all do the lawnmower racing. Y'all watch that lawnmower
We
racing?
talked about that, and I really thought about doing that, and there's a lot of great, but here's the problem with that. As much as we wanted to do it, and as many people as would participate in the spirit of it, you'll have ringers, they'll come out, they'll bring something really radical and fast. We didn't want people to be able to get dangerous fast with it. And I don't know. I had some pushback on some of the idea of the mowers, but I love the idea of the riding lawnmower thing. That would have been my pick, but there are reasons that made it less practical. Another thing we considered too was was rototillers. Believe it or not, there are groups of people who race tillers. There's a video on YouTube of a guy. He has a tiller, and I don't know if he's got little skates that go under his feet or what, but they're connected to it. This guy's going 70 miles an hour down a drag strip with a tiller, standing up.
Oh, no.
And that's that. Well, he did it. I'm saying he should have. Of course, then
I'm
again,
too old for that.
well, then again, this is the guy that packed 5 bottle rockets into a mortar tube on the back of Dallas bike and lit them with him on it. So,
Yeah, I'm too old for that one.
you could see that bike actually pick up from those rockets. So you could see it in the video. Oh yeah, it did. You could see it. It was very short lived, but when those things popped, Dallas said it felt like I got hit in the chest with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
And then the neighbors put up something on the neighborhood Facebook page. What was that? We were this close to seeing if we could jump Dallas's swimming pool with it. We were talking about it. We had looked at the gate, everything.
That would have been a 1 million view video right there.
I told him that. I'm telling you, if we weren't afraid of what would have happened to the liner in the pool, if it didn't work out, that's
for that I just had to buy a new liner.
Yeah, well, you're right. It would have been 1 million views probably.
That would have been funny.
Who are you racing, Barrels?
Me?
Barrels,
I think
yeah.
Stephen Holtz, and RC Industries, I believe. At the beginning, it was Dart Freak, but he dropped off the radar. So
yeah, I was supposed to. He wanted to race me because long before No Name Nationals, I think long before I was even involved with YouTube, he was part of a Mopar community that I was a part of, on the internet. So I know Dart Freak and Stephen and Steve, Stephen Holtz, but Dart Freak. So I said he wanted to race me just because. So I said, okay, we'll make something happen, bracket or something, because the car he was going to bring was obviously would be senseless to do heads up with my van. But anyways, yeah, so he dropped out. So
I hope he's okay. I hope everything's good with him. He seemed like a heck of a great guy.
Long hours, and
that's what I figured it was.
He hasn't posted in 6 months either, though.
No, but he's been on the Mopar site off and on.
Okay, good.
Oh, good.
He only lives 40 miles from me down the road. I haven't met him, but he's not that far from here.
If you see him on those, tell him we're all still thinking of him.
Yeah, I got a thread over there called who's going No Name Nationals or something, and he's been a part of that. So he just posted something the other day. And then when the Canadian Clay,
Yeah, Clay.
yeah, he got the new job, and then so I think that was one of Stefan's races. And these two guys are, I always want to call them by their names on the Mopar site, but yeah, Clay and Stefan, they were supposed to race, but
For me, I'm not racing any of them. It's the wife. She's gonna drive the car.
oh, cool.
I'm gonna be the one with the camera.
No.
The camera and the wrench, because I don't know what's going to happen. And it's her first time down a track too, so.
Oh, fun.
And it's our anniversary, so.
Oh, that day is? That
it's
day-
the weekend of it.
Oh,
The
well,
three,
awesome.
the threefer.
Don and Wendy English, you guys, Big Mike, Soupy Barn, Just Mopar Joe. I know all of their anniversaries for that weekend.
Uh-huh.
Wow. How many years, Barrels?
Oh Lord. Is she around? it's been a little while. 20. I'm not gonna say nothing's gonna get me in trouble. I plead the fifth.
Decades.
This coming May will be 30 years for us.
Oh really?
Yeah, April will be 11 years for us.
I got 0. I never tried it.
You know, we've been out and about in our van. You know, we've already been out and going places in it. Obviously, it's what we do. But my backup plan was, should I happen to hit a deer or something and take it out of commission, my backup plan was the van of war. We were going to bring that down there. I'd race Hoosier's Garage with that. Then if should the 77 get wrecked, it looks like we're in good shape.
We're all looking forward to meeting you. I know that. I mean,
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
yeah, I think so. Well,
Yeah, getting there, boy. I had backup plans like you wouldn't believe. I was pulling all of the ones that we already finished that I hadn't, done much on my channel, videoing them so I could throw them if it came to that. I mean, all the way down to, if the Mercury don't make it, it's the wife's brand new Ford Edge. Something's going to happen, and we're going to get there and do it. I just have to make sure that she turns off that stupid idle, safe idle, whatever.
Oh, it shuts it off at the stoplight.
Yeah, get up to the light, stage in, and.
I haven't seen that yet, but I will see that at a drag strip sometime. Somebody goes into stage and it shuts it off.
Oh yeah.
Yours
My
got
nephew
the
said he saw it.
Barrows. Yours got the sport mode.
Yeah.
Put it in sport mode. That thing becomes a beast in sport mode.
Oh yeah, we've had a little fun with it, but you can't work the paddle shifters on it. Ford stuck the paddle shifters right at the turn signal and the windshield wipers. You can't get your fingers behind it to work the paddle shifters. Otherwise, the windshield wipers come on, the blinkers come on.
Yep. Our Escape's got that sport mode, and I put it in sport mode. Man, that thing come out like a monster. I was like, holy cow! And here it's got a turbo. When you get on that thing in sport mode, you hear that whine, buddy. I'm like, holy cow!
Gentlemen, I'm going to jump off of here. Just a reminder: 10 days, 22 hours, 54 minutes.
Not long at all.
Till midnight on D-Day. I look forward to seeing all of y'all soon.
John, enjoy talking to you, buddy.
Have a good night. Yep, I leave in what, 5 days? 6
You got
days.
5?
I got 6. I leave here. I'm going on vacation, so I
Uh,
leave Saturday. Next
Oh,
Saturday
wow.
morning, about 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm traveling to Tennessee. Now, granted, I could work on the car down there, but do I want to? No. I'll probably take it off the trailer and run it around down there. You know what I mean? Just to get some miles on it. Beat on it a little bit, try to see if anything else is gonna stick.
okay.
No,
You
I had it out
handled that one
today.
like a pro, though. You really did.
Well,
So
yeah,
how many days y'all got?
I've had practice with that.
And like I told you, you're officially a bona fide YouTuber now because you
Yeah,
got footage of the whole thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was funny because I had the camera in this hand and I was driving and I had a switch and it hit the key.
But you didn't skip a beat.
But what really got me was that I predicted that. You know, when I did the dash, I was going in there to adjust the ignition switch because it wouldn't when I was doing the camshaft and running it, it wouldn't shut off in drive. And I'm like, I don't like this. I'm glad I did it.
But Rose, how many more days you got left before you leave?
Come sun up, 7 days.
Ooh.
7.
Are you driving it there?
Yeah.
Cool.
318, where you coming from?
Northwest corner of Illinois. I got about it's Google Maps I think says 7 hours, but the van's a little slower because there's certain areas where they can get out there and do 75 and I don't do that. 65 is all the faster I go with it.
Right.
That's
So
what
I'm
I
counting on
plan
8 hours there, but I may not. On the way down, I got a sister along the way, so I may swing in there Thursday night and spend the night with her. And if I do that, then we'll probably leave, and I don't know. We'll probably get down there sometime around 10 or 11.
That's not too bad of a drive.
No, and if I decide if we don't swing by her house, if she got something going on or something, then I'll probably be down there Thursday night and just spend the night down there.
Yeah, that's
Very
what I'm
well.
going to do. I'm just going to roll about 65, 70. Just keep it in its happy spot all the way down.
Right.
And I don't drive at night, so we'll probably spend the first night in Cheyenne or Denver, depending on how far we get.
Buck, how many miles is it from your house out there?
From
Well, from
mine?
my house to Sykeston, I think is 857 or something. 13 hours. But I'm driving to
Tennessee.
Tennessee, which is like Knoxville. That's like 8 hours. And then
Right.
then that's Saturday. I'm doing that, and then Thursday I'm going to drive from Bybee over to Sykeston, which is another 6 hours, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I think round trip I'm like 2,200 miles or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I normally don't race this van. I mean, I've never raced it. So normally this is the one that we just go in and I give it a 1/2 inch gas to get it going. And then we just take it places. It's got a bed in the back and stuff. So we just go in it, we just got back with it, to be honest with you, a couple weeks ago. So it's not something that I'm usually out racing. So I don't know down there if the bracket racing is part of it. I'm sure I'll be a first round exit with it. So I might go run around in there.
Yeah, my Merc, it's a driver. It's going to show up at the track as a driver. It ain't going to be nothing fantastic in that sense. It's just all for fun.
Right. That's what it's all for. It's all for fun.
Yeah, that's the main thing right there. For fun and everybody get together and meet everybody.
Right. And I'm going to enjoy the trip down, the trip back, and I love driving the van. So we like to go in it, and it's a lot of fun. So we usually find the trip no matter where we're going, we make the trip. We'll try to make the trip as fun as the destination. So
Exactly.
Try to have as much fun as we can.
And it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be like driving back in time.
Yeah,
The new
it'd be,
cars, they're so comfortable, they do everything for you.
Yeah.
Going across country in a 68, yeah, that kind of brings back memories.
Yeah. It's fun.
I'd rather drive an old car instead of this new stuff.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't not in the heat of the summer, because I do like my AC. But before my wife claimed this 77 van, she had a 77 Ram Charger she claimed, and we took that from the northwest corner of Illinois clear out to the Grand Canyon. I think we went through, then we come up through Dodge
Oh,
City. So I think we went through just on that one trip, we went through 9 different states, and that's full-time four-wheel drive. So, we did about 60 in that. 13 miles per gallon.
did you come up through Mohab, Utah, or
No,
just to the Grand Canyon?
we went down through Missouri, and then from Missouri we went across Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona.
Okay.
We went as far as Williams, Arizona, because that's starting to get pretty close to California, and then we cut up from Williams, Arizona into the Grand Canyon. But we had our beds and stuff in that too. We took out the back seat and threw a mattress in the back, and like in Tucumcari, Mexico, we slept in there or at a modern truck stop or not truck stop, but like a rest area or something. But just to save on money, because you're spending it in gas, you got to get it back someplace.
Yeah, 13 miles a gallon.
Right.
Is that what you're pulling, about 13?
With the van, yeah, we couldn't. This last time out, we tried, to see what it would do, and we couldn't touch 14. It was like 13.8, almost 14. The Ram Charger got 13.
I'm figuring I'll be pretty lucky about them numbers.
Hey, Mopar man, 78, and good night, Mopar Den.
Well, I should get at least 15, 16 with my diesel. I think I got 17 last time going down to Tennessee.
Pulling a trailer?
Not pulling a trailer, but
you're gonna probably get about
it
10
shouldn't
to,
be much different.
probably about 10 to 12 pulling a trailer in the car.
I don't know. We'll find out.
But them them 6.0s, a lot of people don't like them, but if they bulletproof, they some tough little engines.
Oh yeah, that one's bulletproofed. Well, almost, I'd say 90%. It just doesn't have the oil cooler changed.
Right.
It still has the original oil cooler type, but it does have the EGR delete. It has the heads are studded. He also told me they were O-ring too, but I wouldn't know because that was done so many years ago.
Right.
It does have the 4-inch stainless all the way back for exhaust, and then it has a tuner in it.
Well,
If you're looking to make Cheyenne by your first day, where are you coming from, Barrels?
Right up by Yellowstone National Park in Idaho.
Yeah, I've been to Yellowstone, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
West Yellowstone is an hour and a half from me.
Right. I came up through Wyoming, up through Cody.
Through Cody?
Yeah.
Did you stop at the museum?
I didn't stop at the Winchester Museum. We actually went up through Sheridan across the Bighorn Mountains and then over to Cody and then up into the Yellowstone that way. That was years ago. That was in the mid-90s, I think.
The mid-90s, I was building Flag Ranch in Grand Teton National.
Oh, we went up in Grand Tetons above Jackson too.
Mm-hmm.
You bet.
The two parks, they should just call them one because
right.
they border and you got to go through one of them to get to the other one. So
when I was a kid, I lived 30. You said you're going through Cheyenne. When I was a kid, I went to my elementary schools a half 30 minutes or 30 miles from Cheyenne.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Wellington, Colorado, right on I-25.
Yeah. Depends on what time we get. I usually take the Laramie cutoff right there, though.
I actually lived in Laramie for a few weeks. My dad was on the dynamite. They were laying a pipeline through there. My dad was on the dynamite crew. So we actually were in Laramie for a little bit while he blew up things.
So you got to see the Star Wars houses out there on
Well,
the Laramie cutoff. You look off to the side and those, what are they, limestone
they're
things?
adobe,
They look like, yeah,
like
little
adobe.
mushroom things out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cooler than all get out. Look like rock mushroom, giant rock mushrooms out there.
Well, he did. My dad did a lot of work up there. He built. He was part of a construction crew that I don't know. They built power plants out there, and he was a member of the union, so he did power plant work. And then when that was done, they called him up to blast rock for the dynamite crew. And I just remember like he would be gone when I get up, and he would come home about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. He's working like 13, 14-hour days, and you couldn't even recognize it was him because he wore like a cowboy mask on, and he's so covered in dust, you know.
We used
Yeah.
to take rod runs all the way from here, clear out there. Back in the 70s, back when, rod runs were a big thing. My dad had a little 32 Ford pickup
Oh
Huh.
man.
with a 327 Chevy in it with tri-power on it.
Ooh.
Fun.
That was a fun little truck.
Barrows, you gonna take the interstate or you gonna take the back roads?
Probably interstate. Well, from here over, it's kind of all interstate.
Right.
No other choice.
Would that
Yeah,
be Route
straight
80?
shot.
You coming across 80?
80. Which one is that?
Route 80? That would be going into Denver. I think 80 goes into Denver.
80
Yeah.
goes in the Cheyenne. 80 cuts all the way across Nebraska and goes all the way out to California through Cheyenne. I-25 drops south into Denver. Of course, you can take 76 off of 80 right about, well, you're on the west side of Nebraska, right past Ogallala. There's a 76, Interstate 76, and you go, it's just barren road like a lot of it, but it takes you right into Denver too.
I know we're headed to the St. Louis way, the route. And then we'll catch just a little bit of St. Louis and come down.
Oh, so you're going to take Interstate 70 over?
Is that 70?
70.
Yep. Yeah, you'll probably drop down to, from I-25, you'll probably take Interstate 25 down to Denver and then take a left, cut across Kansas into Missouri.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, I know the route.
Yeah, that's Highway 70.
Yep.
Interstate 70. Yeah.
It'll be the first time I've seen the Mississippi.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
All them years on the road with the monster truck, and we never crossed the Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
Never crossed Mississippi.
Holy cow.
If you're coming through that way, you should see the arch then too, right?
Yeah, we're hoping that's like I say, we're just gonna kind of meander all the way.
Right.
Enjoy the sightseeing.
Gonna try to get there in time to see Bob's shop, Bob Chandler, Bigfoot. He's in right outside of St. Louis there.
Wow.
Where's the world's largest ball of twine?
That was on that movie.
Michael?
Yeah, Michael. Yeah. I thought that was up in North Dakota or something, wasn't it?
I think it's on Old 66 somewhere.
That's what we did. We took the old 66. So we got off the like Interstate 44 and we tried to take the actual original highway as much as we could. So, and some of them areas, I mean, it's just so pretty cutting out through there, especially through Missouri. You're only doing like 40 mile an hour alongside Interstate 44, but you're off in the trees and the hills and it's still painted around the highway, faded paint. It says Route 66.
Really?
It's beautiful. It's just gorgeous. And some of them, a lot of those people fixed up like their barn or something, to theme it with Route 66. It was a really cool experience. Love to do it again.
Well, there's two of them on here. One's Cocker City, Kansas, and the other one's Darwin, Minnesota. World's largest ball of twine. I think it would be the Kansas one.
I think it's Kansas. Yeah.
Yeah. Kawk or Cawker.
It's easy to remember your way around in Kansas because they use car engine sizes. So whenever we were coming back from like Colorado Springs, come up to Lyman, Colorado, cut up at Colby, you take 383 to 283. It's pretty easy to remember. Everything was an engine size, it seemed like.
Be my luck if I went through there and I remembered all that. By the time I come back through, they done changed the whole number system and put letters out there.
3.6 to 3.9 or something.
Yeah, I'll be done messed up then.
Choke air mixture issue.
When I think of misfire, I think of electrical.
Yeah. Usually that's not delivery. What's it on?
Must be a carburetor because he's got choke and air mixture. Sound like he got a carburetor issue.
That Mopar of yours?
I mean, some vacuum leaks will give you a miss, but not too many.
Right.
It has to be like perfect in order to have a miss. Like an intake gasket on that one cylinder.
Yeah, tell me about it. I know all about it.
But if you have it up around the carburetor now, you're not really going to see a miss.
So we got a misfire detected on cylinder 2, but it's caused by coolant leaking in the cylinder 2. Is the reason why for the major recall.
That coolant's not supposed to be in that cylinder.
Right. Basically, like the older cars, basically like a float head gasket.
What car is it? ASO?
It's our 2018 Escape.
Ford Escape.
Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of this. The guy at the Ford place said when they done the test, we noticed we was getting about 28 to a gallon. It went down to 25 a gallon. And then last week it was started, when you crank it up, it'd skip a little bit, then you give it gas and it'd clear up. And then the check engine light come on Friday, I think, or Thursday. Then I scanned it, and then when I got back home, I got the papers that Ford sent us, and then realized I know what the problem is. But when I called the Ford place, they said they're going to run the test, and then said it could be 6 to 8 weeks before it'd be done because the parts is on back order.
It's on a 650 Harley, huh?
Is the misfire still there after the car's warmed up?
No, it goes away after it warms up, but when you turn it off and let it see it, and crank it back up, it's still skipping until you give it a little gas to clear it up.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, okay. I see. I'm sorry. I think I was asking this Mopar's Mustang.
okay.
I was reading. I'm sorry. It could have fit both of them, though, huh? It could have fit both of them. No, I was just reading what Bear Rolls put up there, and I was just like, is it only when does it go away when the engine warms up?
Those electric chokes, I take them off. I convert them all to manual.
All right.
I do too. I can't stand electric choke.
Oh, I like the electric choke.
I generally run with no choke usually, but
Well, down here it don't get really cold enough unless we get a blizzard, and that's once every 40 years. That's the only time you really need choke down here is when it gets real cold.
we get below zero up here quite a bit.
Yeah, here too.
Yeah, Illinois. Yeah, you get some cold days up there.
Yeah, especially in the north corner. I can throw a stone and hit Iowa, and I can hit Wisconsin with a slingshot. So,
wow,
I'm tucked up there. So I'm right up onto the Wisconsin border. So I'm really far north.
Wow.
I mean, for Illinois.
Yeah, so down here it don't really get that cold. It gets cold to our specifications cold. All the northerners, it gets colder up there than it does down here. And
where are you at?
In Alabama.
Oh, Alabama.
We don't usually get our cold weather till probably January, the end of January, February, sometimes into March. And that's when it really gets cold. It sometimes knocks down in the teens, but the last couple of years it's not been that cold.
That's exactly right. If you get them right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with electric choke if it's set up right. I generally
they could be a little finicky, but
The Barrow's talking about he didn't like Holly carburetors. You ain't the only one.
Popular.
You ain't the only one. I'd rather have a quadrijet and build a quadrijet before I would a Holly.
Here, it's too much up and down.
Yeah.
And the Hollies, they just don't like that. Now, everybody that runs just in the valley here, yeah, they do all right with a Holly, but you go just a little bit north or a little bit south or a little bit any direction. I live in a hole.
They call me a flatlander now because I moved down into Lebanon. I used to live in the mountains. Now I live in the cornfields.
Lebanon, Missouri?
No, Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Pennsylvania.
What's that?
I said Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Yep, that's right. We're the Keystone State. We hold everybody else together.
One of these years, I want to make it to Lebanon, Tennessee for a Redneck Rumble.
Oh, yeah? I'll be going through there on Thursday before Sykeston.
Yeah, I got a big.
They got a big. Go ahead.
They got a big rod run up there.
Pigeon Forge.
Yeah,
Pigeon Forge was last weekend, I think.
Was it last weekend?
Yeah. There was some video on on YouTube about it, and when I was talking to Clint's Street Machines, he was going down there. Or was going to try to go down there.
There's some big dollars up in that show, buddy.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not big dollar cars there, buddy. There's some big ones up there, buddy.
Well, then the Buck Skylark should have fit right in then.
Yeah. with that new chrome spring on that carburetor.
Yeah. What's his name said I put it on backwards. I said, I don't care. It works.
That's right. It works. It don't matter which way it goes.
Yeah.
It still serves its purpose.
Yeah, it serves. I only did that for you. That's all. I would have left it alone. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter where it's on the back or the front.
Right.
Because that isn't what made it stick. It was the secondary stop rod that bent.
Right.
That's what made it stick.
You always put one on the front like that on all of them, just for safety. Because
I didn't find that bracket till after I already had the other one on.
Golly.
So
Yeah, I had been in one that the throttle stuck like that, and I had wound up shutting it off and slamming the brakes on before I went through a cow pasture.
well, you know what? I could have had that hood spring that Outfits put on that carburetor, and it still would have stuck.
Yeah.
That rod was jammed in there.
One of the biggest things about a carburetor there, Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans, you know, they're a wide range. You don't have to get, you know, I think Uncle Tony just did a video on that. You know, you don't have to be dead nuts on. If you chase that, you're going to chase it and chase it and chase it and chase it. You know, they're made for a wide variety. You go out there and get it set just perfect for the temperature and the humidity and everything for the day. And then the next day it changes, or later on, you know, and the sun goes down, it'll whack it all out for what you're looking for. You know, they run on a broad range.
I had better luck with quadrujets than I ever did
Still
with
a
Hollies.
misfire.
Yeah, I do too. I like the quadrujets. I'll run a quadrujet on a Ford engine.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Try spraying carb cleaner around it while it's running.
Yeah.
I like the older model quadrujets made in the mid 70s, early 80s. Because there's a setting back there, you can knock the little chip out of it, and there's a screw back there. If you can get that little screw back there right, that quadrujet will come alive.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, them quadrujets suck the pistons out of it.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's time for me to go. I just looked. It's 1:30.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably be wrapping it up here too. I'm
probably going to sign off too. Sure, nice chatting with you guys.
Hey, you
Nice
too.
to
Great
meet you,
seeing you
318.
again.
See you in
We'll catch
Sykeston.
Yeah,
See ya.
and we'll get
We'll
to
see you
shake
there.
hands.
Yeah, it'll be in person there, huh? All right, man. Catch you later.
Great seeing you.
And with that, as soon as I find my mouse,
Catch
here it is.
the cat.
I got, yeah, there it is. Squirrel.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's great hanging out with you again there, Buck.
Oh, you too, man. You too, ASO.
Oh, yeah, I enjoy it. Y'all some good folks.
I'll probably jump on a live next Sunday.
Okie dokie.
I'll be in Tennessee somewhere. I might have to run into town. I might have to run into town to get enough coverage. Because he's out in the sticks, man. He's out there. You know, he's out there where they have a couch on the front porch and you know, the lawnmower sitting in the front yard.
Oh, man.
Oh, is he my neighbor?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Ron Nelson.
Hey,
Ron
there's
Nelson.
Ron.
All right. Good night, fellas. Good night, everybody in the
Good-
chat.
Good night, Buck. Good talking
Great
to you,
seeing
buddy.
Buck.
You too.
Yeah, make sure you film that first round of red lights. That's gonna be funny.
It's gonna be like Christmas tree going off with all the red lights.
Yeah, that's gonna be funny right there. That's gonna be funny right there.
It'll all be fun though.
Oh yeah, it will. Yeah,
And
maybe
that's what's cool.
next one we'll be able to make it.
Well, if you can still squeeze it somehow, you know.
It's just we got a lot going on, and
I hear
the Ford place is not giving us a rental car, and it just costs too much to even try to rent one to come up.
you. Yeah.
We'll support you. We'll watch you.
We'll throw something out there for you.
I appreciate it.
I just looking forward to meeting you was all, you know.
Yeah,
And all
well,
of you that can make it.
Yep. But next year we'll get a head start by next year, and we'll try to make it next year. We'll have a little bit better situation next year.
Wherever it's going to be. I hope it's back in Sykeston, but
Yeah,
wherever it's going to be.
That's a pretty good place to have it, because it's basically in the center of everything, you know.
Yeah,
So,
right. Like I said, anywhere along the Mississippi, that keeps it right in the center of the country. So, you know, there's no excuse for the East or the West. And that's not an East and West, you know, East versus West. It's all
right,
right there. It's equal for everybody.
right. Yeah, that's the main thing right there, you know, to give some people easy to get to, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty good. John and them has worked their butts off on this right here, buddy. They have done it. Well, I'm gonna get on out of here because it's 12:30 here, and
Me
we
too.
gotta
And
get
I'll
we
be
gotta get
back
up
out
in the
there on that
morning.
Mercury about 5 o'clock this morning. So yeah, it's coming
Whoa,
up.
how much you? Yeah, quick. How much you like on it?
I just got to put the interior together, slap tires on it, and see what's going to happen.
Okay, that's not too bad.
I just bought brand new tires for my Explorer, and I think it's time that Explorer goes away. So I'm gonna pull them off and slap them on there.
That's it. Get some use out of them. Yeah, get some
And if
usage
I
out of them.
finally pull the plug on that thing, I can get my 8.8 rear end out of it.
Right,
That's
and
the
put it
only
to the
reason I bought
side.
that nasty thing.
So you got a V6 in it or a V8?
V6,
V6.
the 4.0.
Transmission bad.
Not anymore. That's the one I had to put in twice.
Oh Lord. Oh man. Oh man.
When I
Oh
bought
man.
it, it came with another. I bought it with a bad transmission, but it had another one in the back that he threw in. I only
Right.
paid $300 for it.
Oh, that's not bad. You can get that's the rear end's worth $300.
Yeah. And I've drove it for 8 years now.
Oh, you got your money's worth.
Oh, plenty out of it.
You know the converters is worth about $1,200 on that thing, don't you?
On a 94?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, buddy. You got 3 of them on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cut them things off.
I know the Expedition is.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yeah, cut them babies off.
here they don't inspect any of that, so you cut them off and straight pipe it. You kill it. You keep running it.
Right, that's what they do down here. They cut them off and then put a straight pipe on it.
Then you don't have to worry about nobody stealing them either.
Right, because you
It ain't
hear when
there.
they crank up. Oh. Yeah, them Ford converters worth some money right now. Dude, yeah. We took. I used to do it before everybody else got into converters. I used to go around to salvage yards and buy them, cut
Uh-huh.
them, and buy them. I made a lot of money doing that, and then got so many people doing it, and it just, I just basically just got tired of messing with them, and then when I buy a junk car, I just cut them off, and when I got 5 or 6, I take them up and haul them off to the refinery, and we had a Ford sports track, oh 02, 03, I think. I think the model was. It was give to us. We went down there and got it, brought it home, and what's going to fix it? And then a buddy of mine that called me was telling me about the prices and stuff of scrap going up. And I said, well, I got 4 or 5 of them I need to haul off. And well, I'll just cut these converters on this board and I'll sell them. I like to fill out what we get out of them things. I was like, back when I did it every day, I was like, these right here would have been about $120 a piece max. Man, I like to have let it fill out. A son-in-law and daughter bought a newer model Ford Explorer, and one day we was up their house and looking at it, checking out, and he was talking about getting his off put on it. And I said, I'll tell you what, if you let me have them converters, I'll buy you a new exhaust from front to back. It took him a few minutes, and he looked over at Deborah and says, is he serious? Deborah says, yeah, he's serious, because the converters is about $1,200. Well, that ended that.
Uh,
But yes, good to hold on to them. And right now they're high right now.
are they high there? Scrap
Yeah.
here is just dead bottom low.
Oh, it's scrap here is like last time I checked was like $4 and something 100. And just about 2 months ago it was $14.50, I think 100. So yes, it's bottoming out. When you see that, then there's something major piece of happening.
What
It's
do
like
I
this.
think of an all-wheel drive Mustang powered by a Gen 3 Hemi?
Nah,
A
nah.
Mustang. What generation Mustang?
They must be talking about the electric Mustangs. One of them, what do they call them things? Marquees or something like that? Mark
Oh,
3
the
or something like that.
Mustang 2, the new
Yeah,
Mustang 2s. Yeah.
yeah, all electric. Yeah, junk.
But sticking I've seen a couple first gen Mustangs set on like a four-wheel drive S10 chassis
Right, right,
to make them all-wheel drive, but they're still low. They work
right.
pretty good around here. They look normal.
Yeah, yeah. Down here they take that. Down here they take like the 90 models, like the 94, let's see, 95, 96, 97, 98 model, and put them on 4-wheel drive frame. They look alright, but nah, a Mustang to me is loud pipes and tire smoking. You know?
Well, with that, I'm about ready to fall asleep here. I have been running,
I bet you have. I bet you have.
and
I
that
was thinking,
FE just totally kicked my butt.
I bet you it did. I was thinking when you talk about when you pulled that intake, I'm thinking, I told Deborah the other night, I feel sorry for Burroughs because he got hit the thing and put it on there. That thing's rough
And
there,
then
buddy.
I could hear the comments already. Well, why didn't you just pull it? Because very few people know about the FE. You know,
Right.
that ain't their normal intake. So I thought,
No.
I'm gonna do this the old way. I'm gonna pull it without using anything. Yeah. After that,
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
seen
thought
you.
about it for a second on because I have done that before too. When you set them back in that way, when you set in the engine bay kind of cross-legged and you balance your elbows on your knees and you drop it
Right.
in like that, I almost did that, but nope.
I see where you had your cherry picker out there, and I'm thinking that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, them things are heavy, buddy. Whoa. Yeah, I was like when I seen that cherry picker, I said that's
It's
what I'm
great seeing
talking
you,
about.
man.
Good seeing you, buddy. I'm gonna get on off here where you can head to bed because that's what we fix ahead.
Yes, they do, and especially when they suck oil after you've done all that work. Yeah, that was not fun.
Barrows, we'll catch you on the next one, buddy.
It was great seeing you, ASO. And Steven, you're coming up. I was it you that just crossed over to the 500 or are you just right there?
Yo, he just passed over, not
Just
before
crossed
last.
over. Congratulations, man. I
Yeah,
so look forward to meeting you out there at the No Name Nationals.
yeah, congratulations, Steven. You did it, buddy.
Now you got a chance to, yeah, you can whoop up on a Mercury if you want to.
Oh, he might have to bring his Mustang to be able to do that. Beat that
No,
390.
that Fairlane's running the same thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but he's got a little bit of go on there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna get off here, Barrows, and I'll catch you on the next one, buddy.
It's great seeing you.
Great
Everybody in the
talking to
chat,
you.
great seeing you. Ron Nelson, great seeing you again. I know you've been super busy and you've been throwing in the hours at work. And man, I'm getting that Mercury done for you, man. And Steven, again, big congrats. And Dizzy, Roger the man. I'm pulling for you, brother. I'm pulling for you hard. But we'll catch y'all on the next one. I will be having a regular Saturday Night Live this last Saturday. It'll be the last one before the No Names. So we'll catch y'all there. And in the meantime, get out there and get some metal hot. And we'll see you on the next one.